Welcome, viewers. And as you rightly started expecting high quality discussions from ICISS, this time also we bring to you a subject which should be very close to every successful executive, and most especially to successful security executive. We know that as a professional, we would be identified easily by how we conduct ourselves, how we keep ourselves in office environment, and most successful executives display their competence, display their performance by the way they keep their office space tidy, neat, and clean. And this indicates, as a professional, how they must be conducting themselves. And small little indicators will talk a lot about their professional competence. It can never be that someone is called a good professional, but he is keeping himself and his workstations unclean, unkempt. And why these have impact on not only the individual but also on a team and in an organization, and how this is going to impact the effective security management is also the focus of our discussion today. And the discussion is on the subject of why clean desk policy is good for corporate honchos. And it goes from top to bottom. It percolates down to everyone in the organization. So top honchos, the top executives display their attitude, their aptitude towards productivity and proficiency. To discuss this subject, we have with us Mr. Nikhil Sharma. Nikhil, welcome to you. And before we start the discussion, I would like to make your formal introduction to our viewers.
Thank you
And
very much.
dear viewers, Mr. Nikhil Sharma is CPP, PCI, PSP, MBA, CSSE, and GB. And what these qualifications mean, maybe to most of us, we will be able to understand that this is the rare achievement for an individual who is into uh, any profession to have credit and certification, and that too so many of them, and top notch certification. This is not a mean achievement. So my compliment and my uh, greetings to you, Nikhil Sharma, for such unique achievement. And Nikhil is a quick-witted and keen-eyed security professional with an experience of providing assistance in an emergency situation and promote security culture in the aviation sector. Nikhil Sharma is a dedicated advocate of Clean Desk Policy and talks about the reasons behind his firm belief for it. Why Clean Desk Policy is having a direct and very important effect on effective security management, he will bring out during the discussion. With a total of more than 15 years experience in aviation security, working with top airlines of the world. Presently, Nikhil is working with one of the leading airline in UAE, and he is a triple crown board certified from ASIS, American Society of Industrial Security. So, of course, it goes without saying that such discussion, and this discussion included, is organized by International Council for Industrial Security and Safety Management, which is in forefront in professionalizing the security professionals. So, welcome indeed, Nikhil. And let's start the discussion about your firm belief that productivity, proficiency, professionalism All are the indicators of someone who keeps a clean desk policy. Why you feel so?
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Professor, and thank you to all the people. And through this, I would be able to share something that is very close to my heart, and I think it should be close to, as Professor said, to every executive, and especially in the security industry for sure. And I'll talk about it why. Uh, I would also like to tell that as a lot of people, if most of them would have met me in person or would have heard me before, I'd like to keep my language very basic so that I want this to go to more and more individuals. Not that I'm a very techie guy, but I expect this to reach to every individuals because this is very important for every organization, irrespective it is small, big, or large. So CDP or Clean Desk Policy, as we say, I would like to tell everyone that if we think about when we were children in the school and or probably at home, our parents used to tell us, keep your room clean, keep your bed clean, or at the school, teachers used to tell us keep everything well organized. Okay, we didn't understand much, but we used to follow because our teachers said, our parents said that. But that habit, as we understand it now, has been translated or has been, a clean desk policy is something very similar to that. But it plays a very, very important role uh, in our everyday professional life. So let's understand first what is basically a clean desk policy. I mean, I'm sure everyone is familiar with that. The term says it itself, but I would still like to start with the basic what it is. A clean desk policy is basically, I would say, it's a corporate directive that specifies how employees should keep their, should leave their workstations, should leave the areas where they work after they leave that area. So basically, how organized you keep everything at your workstation, and how you maintain the area that you work at. It basically it's a clean desk policy. What it means. Now, how is it important for everyone? I would see, clean desk policy is now not just a management directive, but it's a personal, individual's contribution to the organization. It reflects the professionalism of a person, irrespective of whichever organization you are working for. It displays your professionalism and make sure that your workplace that you're working for, you respect that workplace basically. It also shows that you respect it properly. How do you handle the information that is being given to you? Now, as Professor said, why is it more important for a security exec? It's because security executives are being given a lot of sensitive information. We daily, from the start, when we start at 9 a.m. or probably whatever time we start at until the end, we handle a lot of sensitive information. And sometimes, due to pressure, we tend to not maintain that information in the way it should be. So basically, this clean desk policy helps us to maintain that sensitive information in a well organized way, wherein all the information that we have, it is well secured. It is, I would say, it is well secured. It is confidential, and it should be shared to only people it should be supposed to be, not to every individual around. Now, basically, what you say is if you're working on your workstation and you leave something unattended for some time, maybe there are cleaners around. I would say, first, initially, long ago, we used to think that cleaners are the people who used to steal the information, or probably outside contractors who used to steal the information. No, this policy ensures that the sensitive information is shared with need to know basis. There are insider threats as well, as everyone knows. There are a lot of people might be insider threats as well. So we need to share this information on a need to know basis only. So clean desk policy is, one of the reasons of a clean desk policy is that a need to know basis is maintained. And yeah, now I would like to tell about a basic why are CDPs used? I would use the term CDP instead of clean desk policy every time. Why are CDPs used? I mean, in the past, if you talk about many years back, CDPs were basically used to make sure that your workstation looks neat, it looks clutter free, it looks tidy. But today, as I said, that CDPs are not merely restricted to keep your surroundings clean. It is a very vast process now. It is also used to keep the sensitive information controlled. And now it is also a regulation. It is also a regulation in compliance with GDPR 2016. So everyone needs to have a clean desk policy in their organization.
At this point, Nikhil, we
Yes,
have
Professor.
office space on various floors. There is extended workforce like gardener, sweeper, plumber, electrician, attendant, drivers. They have access for variety of reasons. They have access to our workplace, and if the office cubicle or the workstation is not tidy and neat, and there is a whole lot of equipment and documents cluttering around, getting to know about something missing is very difficult. And not only for the working professionals, but getting to know which exactly is missing since when, that also is becoming very challenging for security professionals. So whichever way we look at, good housekeeping is indicator of good security management. So clean
I want
desk.
to discuss one very important thing, Professor. Here, I was talking to one of my colleagues from the other organization. It's a very basic thing that I would want to tell you all people so that all can relate to what it is, how important it is. So basically, Friday evening, everyone is ready to go home. It's less than 20 minutes to go home, and everyone is very excited for the weekend. Almost all the work is done. They are just waiting for another 20 minutes, the clock to tick, and everything. Yeah, they are relaxed. Like things are kept here and there. Okay, I'll keep it later. Suddenly, surprise visit comes from the super boss, and suddenly when he walks in, I mean, people are they don't know what to do now. They're surprised. They don't know exactly what's happening. And as he walks in and he sees people relaxing, which is very okay. But now that relaxing thing, when he sees the workstations or the office, this was not what they were expecting. And they were like, okay, it will be done later. It will be done later. No, there's the kind of embarrassment that person or the manager on the floor has to bear at that point of time. It was he had no answer for that basically. Okay, boss doesn't expect you to be serious all the time or work all the time, but at least keep the work, keep the area, keep the office clean, keep the office neat. Someone was sitting on the table, some books were kept here and there, some sensitive information, need to know basis books, notes were kept, the cleaners were moving around. So basically this is a very light issue for some people, but it's a security breach. A security executive or a security expert will definitely know that how much a security breach it is. Secondly, what kind of image have you given? You have worked Monday to Friday like anything. You have given your best, 100% you have given. But the last 20 minutes, what your super boss has seen in the office, everything is gone in vain. He would have now the impression that he has is this is what happens every day. They don't maintain the workstations, they don't maintain the security notes, they don't the need to know basis, confidential things are just kept here and there, and the contractors and vendors are just moving around. So this is something that you said. It's it reminded me of this incident, and so everyone can relate to it. That clean desk policy, how important it is, and we should be always ready for it, always prepared, not reactive, proactive. As the security industry says, we have to be proactive. Same goes for clean desk policy. Now, to implement this clean desk policy, I mean, people will be thinking now I've told what is basically a clean desk policy, how it should be done, but how to implement it. There are some points, basic points again that I said, I would be talking basic. There's some very basic points that I would be discussing to implement a clean desk policy, which even a layman can understand. First of all, the clean desk policy has to be in clarity. Now, you don't expect someone to come verbally one day and tell you that this is needs to be done. It needs to be in clarity, the first thing. Everything, every point should be clear to every individual. It should be clear that it is for permanent employees, it is for temporary employees, it is for contractors, it is for vendors, whoever comes in the organization in the vicinity, it should be applicable to all of them. Secondly, it's the availability. Either there can be, if it's a cubicle, if it's a workstation, it can be stuck in a piece of paper. Whether I don't advise it to using a lot of papers now, but still, if this is one of the possible ways to do it. Otherwise, it can be on the desktop. There can be a icon saved on the desktop, and everyone can access. So it becomes available to everyone. Again, the third point that I would like to say is less use of physical papers, more use of more use of electronic data. More data means less use of papers, which is again, I understand everyone will know why it is good. For security point of view, it can be breached easily. Electronic data cannot be breached easily, though it can be, but the chances becomes less. Constant reminders should be given to employees. I mean, at least if, in the starting, every week, fortnight, every week, every month, depends on the organization. There should be constant reminders that should be sent that this is the policy, this should be reminded. Whether one of my colleagues, I mean, friends organization, he told me about it. Every time they have a small game, like, it's like a game, but it's basically about the clean desk policy. So everyone plays that game, they get entertained. I mean, it's not like a mental pressure, but they are getting entertained at the same time. Plus, they have to answer those questions, which reminds them, refreshes them of how to use the clean desk policy. Management support. Now, it's the most important thing. Management support. Management has to be lead by example. Management support has to be there in this 2 months. Lead by example thing. If you see your seniors, you see your super seniors, I mean, following this, automatically you feel that, someone who is very senior to me and who is following it religiously, I should also do the same. And the last point that I want to say is enforcement of it. Now everything is done. Games are done. It is being sent. Everything is done. Management is doing. Okay. But someone, I mean, I don't expect someone, as of now, I haven't heard, but a whole team has to be made to ensure that everything is followed. But at least the information or the responsibility should be given to an individual or a couple of individual or a small team just to make sure that everyone is following it. Because this can cost a lot to a company. You will not even understand, depending on the organization, depending on how large the organization is. It can make a lot of difference. It can make a lot of loss for the organization, tangible or non-tangible. That's a different thing. But yes, there can be a lot of loss. So there has to be someone who ensures that it is followed. And if it is not followed, I would always also support to the level of extent the security breaches that it can, there should be also verbal warnings. There should be something that an employee feels that, initially that I should do it. Later on, it becomes a habit. Initially, there should be something that he should be, I mean, there should be a policy on that proper.
So, Nikhil, ultimately, we have that link established, that clean desk policy at individual level and good cleanliness in the organization is having direct impact on effective industrial security management. And that is the point which needs to be understood by HR head or the project head or the office head, because ultimately inspiration of efficiency, proficiency, and professionalism comes from top. So, how would you advise any top management to understand the implications and have this policy practiced in their organization? What would be your advice?
So first of all, I would I would let, I would want the top management to support their subordinates in this policy. They should understand how important it is. Well, there are several challenges for this as well. Like, like this is such a good topic that it's, as I said that, it's very close. So I was discussing it with someone, and they said, how would you implement that in major technical companies who are working remotely? People are working from their home. How would you do that? Then, in most of the technical companies, that I would say that they use visual controls. A visual control, to all my viewers, I would like to tell them what it is. It is basically when someone is, for example, discussing something through online, and something which is sensitive or something which is a proprietary information is displayed on the screens of the people. Now, this one is also a challenge. Remote working is also a challenge. So the top management, should sit with the HR. Most importantly, should sit with the information security team, which we call infosec team, and they should make a proper policy on that, stating that if it's a remote policy, remote work, what can be done? If it's a visual control, what can be done? Because it has a lot of benefits. It has a lot of benefits if it is implemented properly. As I said, the few points that I discussed about the implementation, it's got a lot of. It has indeed. You will not believe it has health benefits also. Now, most of the people sitting in their offices, especially Professor, I would like to talk about people sitting in the cubicles or their workstations. Sometimes they have a lot of work pressure. They need to finish the work on time. So even the lunch, even the breakfast, they're having it over there. You will not believe. I read about it, and it says uh, that this workstation can be as dirty as a public toilet. I mean, it's a fact. The way that someone is eating, leaving the work, sometimes you leave the food behind the PC, sometimes you are eating and something is falling down, but you're so much into your work. I mean, it can be as bad. There are health benefits to it also, apart from the security benefits that we have discussed. Plus, the most important thing that I want to tell you is the clean desk policy also makes sure that your password is well protected. I mean, this I'm insisting, I always insist this, I always talk about password protection, that a clean desk policy, as I said, use less of paperwork and more of electronic. Your password has to be stored very professionally, not like writing something on a piece of paper and putting it under the keyboard to make sure that I have to access two or three systems, and this is the password, this is the password for this. No. A clean desk policy also ensures that your passwords are well protected. Your system is well protected, you are well secured. Because ultimately, if you talk, you are the one who's going to be liable in case of any security breach. If you follow it properly, if you follow the policy properly, your organization is well protected. But an employee should understand that even they are well secured, well protected, and there is no harm to them.
You mentioned, Nikhil, it was just a passing comment, but I picked up that immediately. There's a term used in security management, and that is, custodial security. The concept that individual who is custodian of certain things is responsible first hand to secure it, like
Right.
laptop, palm top, phones, and your extension drive or pen drive, or the document on your table. If these are your responsibility, then you are responsible for security also to those items. So that is the custodial security. And in many organizations, uh, employee is directly and squarely held responsible if something goes wrong. So they forget about the sense of complacency, that that attitude that everything is okay. uh, Cleaning the area is not their responsibility, it is their responsibility in good organization. So how about having such approach and such policies?
This one, Professor, thank you for taking this point. I met with one of the security professionals in the last event that I attended in the UAE, and this one was working in an oil and gas company. So, we were just talking about several things, and he was telling me that there is a policy. Now I can exactly relate it to as a clean desk policy. This can be a part of CDP also, wherein he was telling me that they have a policy because they are working in a sensitive environment, they're working in a highly secured environment. Their policy restricts them and tells them what things that are you are allowed to take with you, what things that are restricted for you to take to that place. For example, that person was not allowed to take a camera phone with him during his work. He is not allowed to take external pen drives with him. He is not allowed to take external hard disk storages devices with him. I mean, these are basic things that I'm telling, but yes, if because of working in a high secured area, the organization has made such kind of policy, which is again, it's a part of CDP, wherein it states that what is restricted, what is not. Even working for a remote, like big technology companies, when the employees are working on a remote from home, basically work from home, WFH, as what we say. There are certain policies that they are allowed to. They are not allowed to do this. They are not allowed to do that. So this is a kind of policies that they have made, and which is a part of clean desk policy, I would say. And recently, I visited, not recently, it's been a while, but I visited Intersect, which was held in UA in the month of May. And there was someone who was introducing me to one of his products, wherein it's basically a key management thing, as you said, custodial security. So the key management was he had displayed a small machine wherein there were keys for all the areas kept over there, but it is all biometric. So if you need to open it, either you need to enter a password or either it's the finger recognition, so that whenever a key has been taken from that machine, everyone knows it's in the system. He showed me how it is. If it's in the system, that which person has this password for this key, when he has taken that, what time, and what time has he returned it back. So I was surprised, like for key management, and this is applicable to big organizations, wherein you have to allocate two or three people just to make sure everything is held. The keys are, returned back on time. They're taken on time. Who's taken it? Making a manual register. There's no need for that. There's no need for a person at all. And if this process is even more secure, because either it will take your finger recognition, either it will use the password, and this password has been given to whom. Even the employee ID of that person was displayed on the system. So you see how the custodial security plays a very important role in the clean desk policy also.
Nikhil, quickly share with our viewers what Triple Crown means.
Okay. Well, a triple crown, triple crown. I would like to say that from the organization ASIS, which is called American Society of Industrial Security, they provide different certifications. The one I would like to start with is called a CPP. CPP is a very vast subject. It covers seven different domains of security, which includes investigations, physical security. It includes executive protection, business principles, crisis management, and more. So this is one of the certification that they have. And the second certification that they have is called PCI, which is called a Professional Certified Investigator, wherein different ways of investigation techniques are being taught. And it's a very vast subject wherein you've been taught with the rules of also, the implications also, the ways also about investigation. So it's all about investigation. And the third certification that they have is called a PSP, which is a physical security professional, which again talks in detail about physical security, access control, cameras, sensors, what kind of sensors, what kind of cameras. So basically, everything is taught in detail. Now, whoever achieves all these three certifications is basically called Triple Crown. And since this topic has come, thank you, Professor. This Triple Crown worldwide is there are about 300 some people only in the entire world who has these Triple Crown certificate to their name. And since I'm sitting in the UAE right now, I think there are less than four people who are Triple Crown certified in the entire UAE. So basically, this gives you a lot of information. This gives you a lot of course, and it gives you when you talk, when you attend a webinar, when you share your thoughts with people, you have a lot of more information that you can share with them. And yeah, of course. So this is something that I would highly recommend to all our viewers in case they are working in security industry. Please go, please attend, please certify yourself. This helps you a lot. And plus, in case anyone needs any assistance, I'm there. If I can be of any assistance to anyone who wants to do these certifications, I'll be more than happy to help them.
Thank you, Nikhil, and my compliments and congratulations for achieving this unique distinction. Uh,
Thank you.
you have advocated something which is not that easily understood by the people, maybe around your own organization. But any top management worth making their profit should realize the importance of TLPP, Total Loss Prevention Program, because without fully understanding TLPP approach, they cannot make legitimate profit. And
Absolutely.
linked to TLPP is Clean Desk Policy. If not directly, it is indirectly understood that inherent connection between Clean Desk Policy and TLPP is there for everyone to appreciate. So if you are in that position, not about your organization, any organization, what would be your message to them, and let that be a closing remark also for this discussion, that how you are going to emphasize that clean desk policy is linked to total loss prevention program, which is linked to having legitimate profit and also providing conducive productive environment so far as security profession is concerned.
The first thing I would like to tell everyone is whenever I discuss about this or discuss about the similar topic to any of our colleagues, any in the, whenever I'm attending a conference or anything, a lot of people have this misconception that clean desk or this cyber security or anything which is related to information security, it is only related to larger organizations. No. Nowadays, I'm sure everyone in the security industry, or probably even if you're not there, if you are in a different industry, you see the major theft happening. You get SMSs on your phone. This is the price that you want. Click the link. You get emails. Click the link. You get this. You get that. So everything is happening technically, not physically. So most of the losses that an organization has is through technical. So I would like to tell all the people here that it is not limited to larger organizations, cybersecurity, first of all. It is as important to a medium or a small organization. I understand that a very small organization would not require a CISO, depending on their workforce. But there are other companies, other security providers, cyber security providers, who would help those small companies in maintaining this security and also to maintain the compliance, as I told, with GDPR 2016. So this is the first and very important message that I want to tell everyone, that it is as important to and cybersecurity is directly or indirectly related to Clean Desk Policy because it's basically securing your sensitive data. Now, as a top management, as Professor said, that if I was there, I'm sure Clean Desk Policy should be rolled out in a way that it is understood by each and every person of the organization. The importance has to be given through it can be via training programs, it can be via staff awareness. As I said, there are, in one of the organizations of my friends, they have some games kind of thing where it is rolled out to everyone. So first of all, the importance has to be informed, or the importance has to be made sure that every employee understands how important it is to the organization and to themselves as well. Some people will understand the pain when someone else has it. Some people will understand the pain when they will have it. So they both needs to be understand in both the ways, that the company can also have the pain for sure. Definitely it will have it if in case there's a breach, but you will also have a pain. So some people will understand it that way. So it needs to be understood, I mean made understood to each and every employee both the ways. Team up with the HR, team up with the information security team, team up with the talent acquisition. All of them, when teamed up, should be given responsibilities of specific responsibilities, I would say, to the HR to do this, information security to do this, top management to roll out this, training program should be done. And I'm sure when everyone is together and they will understand how important it is, and it will be talked with other people in the other organization, that this is what is happening in my organization, how much important it is being given. And similarly, with the word of mouth, other people will also in the other organizations will understand that this organization, this typical company, specific company, is giving such an importance to this clean desk policy. What it is, let us at least think about it. Let us at least implement the basics of it, and this is how it will spread. And today, with this live webinar, I would like to thank Vesha for this. Thank you very much, because through this channel, through this today, I am able to spread this awareness. We are together with your experience, are able to spread this awareness to all the people who are listening, or to all the people who will listen it in few due course of time, since they'll be busy or something. But I'm sure this message will go to a lot of people, and I hope it goes in a positive way.
Thank you, Nikhil. In fact, not only our viewers, I also learned many things out of this discussion. And I'm sure that viewers and all our members who would watch this video later on would be immensely benefited, because you explained the linkage. No organization would work for philanthropy. They are not into charity. They want profit. And profit is direct profit, and profit is indirect profit, which again is linked to production. And security management ensures that not only the conducive atmosphere is provided for profit making, but also the losses which are avoided through the direct and active measures of security team, they also link up to the productivity and profitability. I'm sure that very soon we are going to again, join on same platform and discuss something uh, of core security profession, but this also was equally important. And I thought that our security professionals and the safety professionals, members of International Council of Industrial Security and Safety Management, must get the benefit out of this discussion. And thank you for that, and hope to catch up with you soon. And to our viewers, let me share with our viewers that next discussion is going to be with someone who is into creating awareness through the publication. Oftentimes we subscribe to many periodicals, many magazines, and find them to be invaluable source of our professional information. And next discussion we are going to have is with Mr. Santosh Pathak, who is editor of Security Link magazine. Security Link magazine is one of the leading magazine in the field of industrial security and safety, and this magazine provides a lot of professional updation, and also about technical advancements made in application of technology in effective security management. So till our next discussion, remain tuned in. If you have not already subscribe to our channel, become member of ICISSM, which is in forefront in creating professionalism. Our motto is let's professionalize the security professionals. And all our activities are non-profit generating, non-revenue activities. We are not into any financial activities, and we certainly do not solicit business, and we solicit only the professional cooperation, and that is what we aim to. Remain tuned in for next discussion. Till then, remain happy, remain healthy. Thank you very much for joining.